sustain,
nutrition,
group,
coaching,
videos,
comfort eating.
Oh,
So lots of people will go to higher calorie foods or drinks when they're stressed out and they're looking for comfort. And we have no problem with people eating higher calorie food and drinks, but our whole ethos is about people doing it when it means something to them and it gives them genuine pleasure. If you're doing it for another reason or as a crutch, then it's probably going to hinder the long-term goals that you've come to us with. So we'd recommend you doing something else.
yes, it has to be a conscious choice. Ideally you don't want to be making food choices out of reactions to emotions and things like that. Agreed?
Yes.
Agreed. So, it's kind of addressing the reason why you feel like you need to comfort eat. So, what's upset you, kind of what's the trigger, what's the reward for having these foods? If these foods are just to kind of make you feel good, then what else could you eat that's more in line with your goals that'll make you feel good?
Is, numbing yourself to these things through excessive consumption what you want to be doing? Probably not, because you're here because for the vast majority of people they want fat loss, and consuming excessive amounts of calories is going to be counter to that. So what you need to do is you need to look at the alternative solutions. So whether that would be distracting your mind, deep breathing, going for a bath, doing some exercise, reading a book, whatever it may be. Or the other option is to then what you're looking for is to make these transitions easy. So people often say, I'll go for a run instead. But if you're at work and someone's pissed you off, it's going to be quite hard. It's not going to be an option.
I'm just going out for a run. I'm really running. I'd rather stay and get pissed off.
So, where was I?
Distractions.
Yeah, then, if your normal distraction is to eat something high calorie, then it's going to be easier for you to just eat something low calorie. So often if you just have a good snack with you or a meal, that's an easier transition from eating a chocolate bar to eating a meal, because you're still eating something. So you need to make sure that then you can have lower calorie options available to you. The last one is, if you don't, is you need to learn to moderate these things. So the difference between 3 glasses of wine and 3 chocolate bars, do you really need that much to comfort yourself? Or are you doing it because you're hoping that more is more? The science behind this is the first 3 bites of a meal is what gives us the biggest kind of endorphin rush and makes us feel really good. So do you just need to become more mindful with when you're eating so that you can get pleasure from your food, rather than just mindlessly shoving this food in and not actually enjoying it?
Yeah, it's just kind of seeing beyond the right now, that in that tiny moment where you feel like, I have to have a steak pie and chips and onion rings and whatever it is.
I've got to go.
And seeing that short-term pleasure, but then seeing the long-term pains, because there's something that's kind of got you to, go on the website, pay and, watch all these videos and interact with us. There's some kind of reason, some kind of pain that's pushed you towards that. So is that, kind of, I said 5 minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes of eating this food, is that worth more than your long-term happiness? Which is hard, it's hard to kind of see in the moment. These kind of things, when we'll ask clients, what can you do to stay focused? What are you going to do to kind of remind yourself of your goals? And if that's writing them down every time, every morning, saying them to yourself, if it's, putting on your screensaver or, recording a message for yourself, whatever it is that works. But yeah, so say you kind of feeling, I've had a terrible day at work, I need to eat some chocolate. There's a massive difference between want and need. So maybe you could try and have something else, or do something else, eat something else that's more in line with your goals, do something else that's more in line with your goals, and then kind of decide whether actually, do I need this food? Try and do something else that's going to change your state, that state of mind of, kind of being pissed off and upset. Try and find something else.
This is not something as well that you'll pick up overnight. It's not a case of you need the knowledge. You already knew what we said. It's a case of repeatedly applying it and getting better at it, because there's sometimes when it's a low stress situation, you might go, I fancy some chocolate, and then you can override that. But there'll be times when that stress is a lot higher and you can't override that just yet, and it's just a case of practicing it and catching yourself in that moment before you eat or drink or whatever it may be, and saying, is this going to help? And we know the answer is no. You know that it's not going to actually undo your bad day. It's not going to stop. It's not going to, the event that's pissed you off has already happened. So consuming food now is not going to undo that. You're just going to be numbing yourself to the situation. So you just need to practice that and practice and practice and practice. And that's why James is saying all of the techniques there to help keep those goals at the front of your mind, so that you have something there visible. People have put photos of us up in there, I don't know where they put them in their fridge, but near their food. I had another client who, it wasn't a client, it was a book I read, a woman who put her running shoes by her biscuit tin. So was she stressed out and she needed a run, or was she actually hungry and she fancied a biscuit? And it's just having those little reminders and building that up until you get to the point where you do have this ability to say, do I want this? James was saying to be able to wait 10 minutes. My thing's waiting a couple of days when I'm being particularly focused, and then getting to the point and going, do you know what, I really do fancy some chocolate. And that's just a skill that you have to build up, and it's taken me years to do it, and it'll probably take you the same amount of time. If you start working on it now, you'll get there in the end.
Yeah, just like, training the gym, you just got to do reps and reps, and there's going to be failed reps, there's going to be failed sets, but you just keep on learning from it. Right, that wasn't right. What worked, what didn't work, I'll try this next time. Right.